Here come the boys. Y'all ready to go swimming, baby? Come on. Give it up. Get out of that water. I tried telling y'all, it's swim lessons, baby.
Hello, beautiful people in Purple People Eaterland. Welcome to the last show on the Deep Dive Tour. My name is Dallas Hanson, joined alongside Lordy, it's got to be Jordan Neuwirth in the house. What a day we had, my friend.
Oh, yes. Here at 8480 Snow Bunny Lane. My goodness, what a place.
This facility we're sitting at, the Vikings training facility, it's a ways away from their original stadium, but they did it right with this training camp, I must say.
From the ones we've seen, I mean, this is just, it. Like we kept saying, it's like going to a ball game.
Yeah.
It's just set up so perfectly from the way they do the autographs. Like, you're here and you're involved, but you're not on top of anything. The players came over afterwards. They were signing balls, throwing them into the crowd. They had sessions with wristbands that, like, the parents could buy their kids, and autographs only went from, like, up to 17-year-olds, so you don't have adults just hounding other adults for their autograph. So I thought that was really awesome, and just the whole setup was just really immaculate. The fan in those tents,
all-time MVP.
I saw Jesus.
Speaking of MVPs, we got to thank our sponsors that made today possible. First one, in Williston, North Dakota, the heart of the Bakken. If you're hungry, go to River's Edge Bar and Grill. They're known for offering the best happy hour in town, providing unbeatable deals in a lively atmosphere. Guests can also enjoy a variety of entertaining activities, including bingo, trivia, and the very popular Name the Tune. Come on down River's Edge for great drinks, great food, and great fun. And how about a little love for Glosso Angus in Wild Rose, North Dakota? A proud sponsor of Swim Lessons, the podcast. They're your premier source for registered Black Angus cattle since 1973. Glosso Angus cattle showcase dominance, durability, and docility, and they're built to thrive on the northern plains. Check them out today. That's Glosso, G-L-A-S-O-E, Angus.com. And last but not least, PSP Network. It's in the game. They've been promoting local student athletes for a very long time. We are getting ready for football and volleyball season. Where can I find all this action at? Well, let me tell you, it's for free on YouTube. All you have to do is subscribe, give a like, share with friends and family, and that YouTube name is PSP Network. Where can you find the schedule of events that we're going to be promoting? It's at their website at psp.network. Nick Holberg and the rest of the talent team is looking forward to getting back on the mic. What a day. What a day. It was another hot one, baby. It was another hot one. We bring the heat wherever we go. Literally bring the heat wherever we go. Excruciating pain when it comes. I think we might be the only two guys that went on vacation and sweated out 10 pounds each day, but still managed to gain back 15.
I stopped by the scale right by the restaurant. Conveniently, the weight room was there, and I went, oh, what a treat. And I jumped on the scale, and I think BetterHelp should sponsor us now. Well, we're going to need it.
This is the last dance, buddy. We made it through a week traveling America, the Midwest. Can you believe it?
What a journey.
It has
honestly
been.
I feel like we've kept the spirits pretty chipper the whole time. The sun was finally starting to wear us out today.
Oh
man, that was tough. And I would, next time we do this, bring pack lighter colors and more of everything.
Black.
Maybe
black was a bad choice. So was milk.
Maybe a checked bag.
Can we get a quick update on your buddy who got last in fantasy football with the hot dogs?
Absolutely. Joey Rasnick, a king amongst boys in our fantasy league. The karma he's bringing down from the heavens upon himself, it makes me sick. I just want to skip to next year already. I just have a feeling we're going to have back-to-back worst to firsts. 2 years ago, Skylar Ferguson, good man, got a tattoo for last place.
Wow.
Won the league. Joey just polished off 71 hot dogs, buns on every single one. He's built different. He lives different. He is different. And I appreciate the hell out of him. And I told him when I grow up, I'd very much like to be like Joey Rasnick.
How many days did he have?
A week.
Dude.
And he didn't do corn dogs until like the last 4.
Dude. That's
He's
incredible.
a sociopath. And then he did like garlic bread and he goes, oh, that's actually pretty good. He's straight for like 5 days. After the first day, he did like brats. And then after that, until like the 60s, he was just straight double dogging them. And one day he just brought cold ones to work.
Amazing. Well, we left Green Bay this morning around 8 a.m., traveled the 4 hours to beautiful Minneapolis, Minnesota. We are sitting, if you're listening on Spotify and Apple, we're right, we got the Orthopedic Center of Twin City Orthopedics right behind us, the Vikings Training Facility. It's beautiful. The work they have done here is amazing. We checked into our hotel, the Omni Hotel, which is actually located right beside the Performance Center, and it is a fantastic hotel. I just had the salmon. You went with the shrimp. How was it?
Well, there's a little bit of a miscommunication there. I thought, I told her, I was like, well, can they take the cabbage out? And she was like, no, it's just kind of in it. And I was like, oh, I'll do the salmon. And then, you know what? The rice showed up. It was good. You might be eating at a little bit higher end restaurant when you think about eating the shrimp tails. We'll move on. Let's talk about let's talk about Vikings football. We said it at the get-go. They do camp right. We saw camps done okay. We saw camps done not right. I feel like Green Bay and Minnesota are so far tied. I might put Minnesota a little bit ahead of Green Bay just because of how well this was done. Green Bay was very cool being on the field, don't get me wrong. Kansas City at third, and then obviously Chicago they're dead last and fourth. But this, Jordan, when you walk in here and right away you see this huge sign, kids can sign up for free for wristbands under 17 to get autographs. You walk further, they have designated lines for each player, so you get to pick the player. They had 6 players today. TJ Hawkinson was one of them. So it's like, for training camp, each position picks a day to sign. Like the day we were in there it was Patrick Mahomes' day. That's why everybody was there. Today was tight end day in Minneapolis, so they had all the tight ends plus a few more. But I mean, that eliminates this whole like pushing to the front, this whole I'm just going to go there for autographs, because right away it's eliminated. Yeah, the bike rides in Green Bay is so cool, but I mean, there was just numerous people standing behind us, and it's like they bring their kid as like a decoy, and they're like, hey, they need to ride that bike, and they're like, sign it, and they're just yelling at him. Like, there was some girl that jumped out there in Green Bay and was like, hey, can I get a picture? And this guy was like, oh, yeah. And she's like, can you take it?
He's got
his gloves on, and they're taped.
Double taped.
And he's trying to, like,
he
click
still
the
did
phone.
it, which was amazing.
Yeah, Colby Wooden, the same guy who's like, I thought I was finna break that bike. Good guy. I mean, yeah, top to bottom, the organization, and there's not a box that wasn't checked here. I mean, the parking right in front of us here.
No notes.
You walk right out. They have the guest relations. They have signs everywhere to go. They have a whole field stadium that I'm sure they used for practice, that they had games on for the kids. The Hall of Fame here, which we'll get more into later, is absolutely exceptional. My personal favorite, outside of one experience, was the Miller Lite Bar, home to some very, very crisp shandies.
They had tents set up everywhere. It wasn't just you had to be a VIP member. Tents everywhere. These huge fans that were misters as well. Tables. We're going to get into that. But let's talk about right away when we walk in. I wanted to go to the gift shop because I wanted to get a shirt from my guy Jared Allen, who was a Viking for a long time, also played for the Kansas City Chiefs, going to the Hall of Fame. Shout out to Jared Allen, 69, the GOAT.
Oh, God. That guy was an animal for the Vikings and the Chiefs. I believe we found he was a University of Idaho guy in Moscow. What a dude.
Yeah. It was the best. He is the best. So we got my shirt, and then you saw the Hall of Fame, and you're like, dude, we got to go check this out because it's right in this building right beside the training facility. And mind was blown at how awesome that was. Yeah,
I talked a lot about Green Bay and how much they give back to the fans, but I have no bad words to say about being here in Minnesota. I thought my skin would boil. I mean, the guy at the hotel did see my cheese head, so we're still trying to figure out how to smuggle that contraband into the hotel. Little interesting there, but no, the Hall of Fame, great. They had the history on each stadium, the Metrodome, the Met, their new stadium. They had a little Viking ship and the Viking ship logo. They had the giant horn and the history behind why they do that and the reasoning and their little silly skull chant that they do. The history behind that. They had the purple people eaters
the silly
coming out of the
skull
wall.
Chant.
I said what I said.
Oh boy!
And the purple people eaters coming out of the wall, the jerseys. There was one, we were in there and I got a text from one of our college buddies, Andrew Rios, if you've seen his business cards. And he was like, hey, get a picture of Mike Tinglehoff. And I was like, Mike Tinglehoff? I was like, why on earth would you want a picture of the Mike Tinglehoff exhibit? Well, he's from Lexington, and that's where Mike Tinglehoff was born and raised and played in high school with Monty Kiffin.
Ooh.
And we were just listening on the way up to Lane Kiffin talk about his dad and on the Pivot podcast, and he was talking about his dad and growing up, and that there were still people from Lexington he talked to that he'd call like once a year before he passed. And those two, apparently their high school team was named one of the top teams in like the Century in Nebraska. They only gave up like one touchdown all year their senior year, and they were like Class A, like the biggest class at that point. So that was a cool little bit of history. 2 Hall of Fame football guys right from Lexington, Nebraska. Just unbelievable if any of you know where that is.
I liked so they had all the head coaches that have ever coached for the Vikings on this wall. Mm. Then they had a headset connected to the wall so you could pick that up, press a button. There's 3 options, and you could listen to one of their either pregame speech, postgame speech, or postgame presser. Mm-hmm. The Bud Grant one I listened to was, it's beyond words. And in the one I listened to, he said, we've got the right name. We're the Vikings. We're a cold weather team. Now let's go out there and use that to our goddamn advantage. Like, dude, that is, and Bud Grant, still to this day, rest in peace, one of the greatest head coaches in the NFL, the Purple People Eaters. Yeah. I mean, kind of established this Vikings organization. Yeah. And also Denny Green was there. Of course, head coach Kevin O'Connell, Brad Childress, Mike Tice, my guy. Mike Tice, people forget about Mike Zimmer as well. Mike Tice had very good Viking teams. He had the Randy Moss, Dante Culpepper, Chris Carter, Jamie Kleinsasser. I mean, those were good teams.
Right after Dennis Green. He also forgot to turn in his draft pick.
We won't
like
talk
the only
about
man
that.
in history to lose a first round draft. They did it a couple times. They got skipped over a couple times.
Yeah.
I've watched the draft for a long time. I've never seen that before. That was exceptional, Mike Tice.
One thing that you were like, Dallas, look at this. So one of the Purple People Eaters, here's what I learned. The defensive tackle, Gary Larson, was a native of Fargo, North Dakota, and played for Concordia College and earned the nickname Norse Nightmare. I had no idea one of the
badass
Purple People Eaters was from Fargo. Gary Larson, that's legit.
Yeah, it's very cool to see another place just appreciate their history and showcase it like that. Like just the way the displays are in like the stadium and everything here, it's really themed after that new stadium. And I think the guy at the hotel was telling us this has all been built in like the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Which is everything's so new and shiny and beautiful. The Chris Carter exhibit was really, really cool. His little jersey hanging there. The Dante Culpepper, they had the year in 2001. I think they ended up being like the 2 seed. So they had a whole bunch of jerseys and stuff from that. That was really cool. Dante Culpepper was as bad as it gets. I could never hate him.
Yeah, there it is. I
believe he was sponsored by K-Swiss or Reebok at one point. I want to say it was K-Swiss, and he did that in the commercial.
But no Antoine Winfield.
No Antoine Winfield. I didn't see a shot. So that year they had Brett Favre. Their D-line was called Shock and Awe because they had Jared Allen, Kevin Williams, Pat Williams, and Ray Edwards, and they didn't really have anything about that. Adrian Peterson has like one picture on the wall. I'm sure there's a lot more going on with that. He's a little bit of a PR nightmare. I've covered a couple of those on this trip. But they did have some cleats from Favre. They had him on the wall. They were selling jerseys in the pro shop. You know, I mean, that's my favorite athlete of all time, despite some current things.
Can we talk about that really quick? Because I saw it right off the tip. I go, okay, here's the Favre section. And right away, we were in the shop, you go, they're still selling Favre jerseys, and
it's like history it's like all was forgiven because he got them that close. It's what it seems like.
So it's like you turn the corner, and Brett Favre's game worn cleats, his jerseys, his pads, helmet, everything was right there, and you just turn the corner, and your face, it looked like you saw a ghost.
I'm sure I looked like a lot of Vikings fans on Sundays in the playoffs.
Oh,
seeing ghosts. I'm sorry, that was low. Yeah, no.
Do you know where we are? Probably hiding in the weeds here, which we are literally by.
Yeah, no, that was actually crazy to see like his stuff in there. That was a very fun year to watch them. That's the only time I've ever rooted for them, but Brett's my boy, so I had to stick with him And they didn't really mention on there that Adrian Peterson had a couple fumbles and Percy had a couple fumbles. They mentioned the 5 turnovers. Brett obviously had that pick in overtime. And
where's the Paul Allen section, by the way? He didn't get any love in it either.
No kidding.
Where is the PA section in the Hall of Fame?
The most legendary, man. The best calls ever.
I think if we ever come back,
Come on, man.
I love when Blair Walsh missed it. He's like, it's a chip shot. It's going to be, no, he missed it. The season can't end like this. It can't. Or the New Orleans Saints interception with Favre. He rolls to his right. Oh my, he threw an interception. The season's over. This ain't Detroit. We're going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that was, his calls are just,
he's the best.
It's just like you talked with him. I mean, just such raw emotion, and it's not like he's putting up a front or acting. He's just reacting in real time, and they let him be, and it is exceptional to listen to.
After the Hall of Fame, it was time for practice. They had a separate field, which I thought was really unique, like a game style. They play high school football games there, but stands on both sides. But that field was just designated for kids to just play. Yeah, I thought that was awesome. Like they had
the Chiefs kind of did that, but the difference was one was a D2 school they were at, like Missouri Western or something, and this is like a whole like concession stand built just for this. Their practice facility for the Vikings is right behind it. Like I said, I'm sure they use that field for like genuine practices and positional stuff. And I mean, just right across the way is the Hall of Fame. They had a little yard game section right there in the middle where they're playing music. You could do the gritty with Justin Jefferson, and they had like a bunch of players' shoes on the steps, so you could like just be walking, measure your foot. Aaron Jones has size 10.5 feet. Goodness,
great things come in small packages. How about Dallas Turner? He's 15.5.
A big boy.
Big boy.
JJ McCarthy is just can't wait to not see that guy in his face.
So after the kid thing, we walked over to the legit practice fields. Nicest grass we've seen ever. I mean, it looked like a golf course fairway. It was beautifully done. It looked like a Major League Baseball stadium. And again, they have all these tents set up. People were sitting under them. Fans going, bars in these. They had some food available. But I go, oh, there's a spot right there, Jordy. So we walk over to it, and these are padded seats, like nice.
Man.
We get closer, and there's like a hat, a jacket, and a bag sitting there. And I'm like and there's thousands of people here, by the way.
There's 2 couches and a chair, and they had taken up like the half of one couch, all of one couch, and the chair, and there was like 12 of them, and they would just sit in the shade and rotate who would go sit on the bench, so that way no one else would sit there, but then they weren't sitting there, and it's just like, what are we doing?
It was not nice. Let's put it that way. So we ended up like
because they weren't standing under the shade. They were taking up the other tables inside, and they would just rotate, so nobody else could like.
They were seat hogs. That's what they were. They were seat hogs.
It was a scene.
And the thing that really pissed me off is it's hot. Everybody's in the tent. You can't give up your seats to go sit in your padded seats. You're taking up both.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah,
it's a team game here.
Yeah, that was
asinine. I'll be honest with you. That was wild.
They weren't pulling in the same direction as the rest of us.
And they just sat there the whole time and rotate, and still kept their stuff. I was so close. So close.
It was literally like on a constant stream,
they
too.
had a
like
system.
One would get up, go, one would get up, go, one would get up, go, and they were just constantly moving, and you're like, this is just absurdity at its finest.
And the worst part of it
One family.
The worst part of it is we went and sat in the like section near the field, so we were closer, but we looked over at one point and they were all in the tent.
But they left their shirts.
They left there, and they weren't even watching practice.
No, they like had their backs turned to practice and
all time bad vibes.
Having drinks and stuff, and I was just like, good for the Vikings to be able to monopolize this and still get something out of them. But just their kids weren't getting anything out of it. They weren't getting anything out of it. Just poor behavior from the Vikings fans.
Practice starts
from that one small group. Everyone else was pretty chill.
Practice starts. Justin Jefferson was out today with a hamstring injury, but came out wearing a Vikings t-shirt with his number on the back. And you said something that I want you to tell everybody that I thought was really cool. You said there's no way that every player that's hurt would even think about doing that. He's like an all-time team player. Usually they come out in their own gear, whatever, just stand there waiting. But he was like walking around.
He didn't have to do that.
Right.
A lot of those guys would choose to throw the hood up, throw the shades on, sit on the sideline and not be very, just hide because they're sick of people hounding them. He interacted with the fans all day, waved to the kids, was chumming it up with Kevin O'Connell, just repping the 18 all day, just being himself. So also it looks like the hamstring. I think he'll be fine. They're just you're good, buddy. We don't need to stress about that. But he absolutely he's the heartbeat of everything here. I mean, he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's going to have his jersey in there. He's probably going to have a whole damn wall or a spot if he doesn't have some sort of cataclysmic meltdown.
Yeah.
If he doesn't go full Antonio Brown on us,
oh boy,
he's going to have his own little section in there. He's just unbelievable. Also, they had the Minnesota Miracle in there. That was cool.
Playing on a reel.
But I mean, he was picking guys up. He was talking to him, high-fiving. He was every bit a part of practice.
It was really cool to see Kevin O'Connell come out and just play catch with Justin Jefferson right from the get-go.
Oh, yeah. And, I mean, you could tell. I mean, he was throwing routes to receivers. He's still licking the fingers between throws. I mean, it's just who he is. And there's not many. We were talking in the stands, I can't think of any other coach off the top of my head, just knowing Green Bay stuff. Brett Favre coached for a little bit, but, how many other NFL quarterbacks that played for a little bit have ever,
made it?
Had the desire to, go and be a head coach? Because, I mean, anymore, most of them are taken care of well enough that they don't need to. They can just, look at Tom Brady. I mean, he can go do whatever. All those guys that are good enough to do it, they just kind of go, they've made their money. They don't need to do anything else.
I always think of when Kevin O'Connell got released by, I think it was the Giants, somebody, and he got released and the GM goes, it was the Jets. Kevin, we're going to go in opposite direction here. And he handled it. He goes, okay, well, I just want to thank you for the opportunity and thank you for everything. And if you ever need anything, let me know. All-time class. We've dealt, firings throughout any kind of life, and you don't always deal with the best of class. But I thought with the way KO handled that way back when, the fortune telling to him being one of the best, if not the best head coaches in the NFL, he's so young. That's all time.
Yeah, I don't think it takes a rocket scientist to see what kind of man they have leading the team. He's top notch.
Yeah.
I have no hate for him. He's pretty fun to watch what he's built, and Justin Jefferson about got me a damn championship last year. So
for the Tippy and Sharks fantasy.
It'd be nice if we could run that back.
First couple drills, it was Indy time. Shout out to the homie and the best man ever. Dalman Gibson was out there. So to see my buddy from Dickinson and a man that has done very well, he's now he's assistant special teams coach for Minnesota football Vikings. But to see him out there, actually setting up drills, running the drills was really awesome.
He's a little whistle happy.
He was blowing that thing.
Didn't really hear anybody else with a whistle.
He was letting it go, wasn't he?
But he was running the shit out of that drill, though.
He was doing well.
Yeah, he was getting the boys. He was just like the D-line coach at Green Bay, honestly, just getting after him a little bit. That was cool to see.
One player that stood out to both of us, whether it was one-on-ones, team aspect, anything like that, was TJ Hawkinson. Coming off of an injury, came back last year late. Their number one tight end for the Minnesota Vikings. He looked phenomenally well today.
Yeah. Unlike your boy in Kansas City, when he catches the ball, he runs. He doesn't have people yelling finish, and he just goes,
I'm good.
No, he was moving it. He jokingly threw himself off a pad after he went out of bounds. The problem isn't, those guys. Those guys all look really well. And I'm sure Justin Jefferson will be perfectly fine when he comes back. It's who's getting the ball to them.
Yeah, let's talk about that. So all the quarterbacks, I felt, if you took off their numbers, they all wore the same jerseys. You couldn't tell who was who. I still think, from today's practice only, which we saw, I thought J.J. McCarthy looked the best from his mechanics, the footwork, and just everything was on point for me. But he did have his struggles. We had the botch snap in team that didn't look good. Yep. A couple miscues. He got sacked a lot. But there was times where he looked really good, and then there's times it's okay, this guy's never played one regular season NFL game.
Yeah. And, he missed that whole year. I think he got hurt in the preseason last year, tore his ACL or maybe tore his Achilles. And when you're out for a year and you watch Sam Darnold come in, who wasn't supposed to be what he was last year, and you watch this guy come in and kind of take your job. Maybe it saps some confidence from you. And you went from being the man at Michigan to who are you here, and you haven't had a chance to prove yourself, and there's some doubts and there's some questions. And I think that's lingering. And I think he just is in a headspace right now where it's tough to like insert himself in there and like have the comfortability. Like he looks very uncomfortable and unconfident right now. But I mean, he is also practicing against a Brian Flores defense who likes to mix up the front seven and bring guys from all over. And they're pretty high risk. They give up a lot of yards, but they get a lot of sacks. They led the league in interceptions. So I mean, it's not easy to practice against that, even if they were going a little softer today. But they just need to let him rip. They're going to leave him out there until it's absolutely like he's the future.
Yeah,
like he's getting every chance until it's over. So Sam Howell, if he ever gets hurt, I mean, we saw what that guy can do. He's like Jameis with no seasoning. I mean, he's just no personality, interceptions. Just plain white.
I will say the work that Josh McCown did last year, former great GOAT. I love Josh McCown, NFL journeyman. The work he did last year with that quarterback group, getting those guys to play the way they did. I mean,
Spaceman, Josh Dobbs.
The Dobbs thing, the guy that just signed with Seattle, brain fart.
Darnold.
The work he did with Sam Darnold last year was, I mean, he had an all-time season. Then he leaves and goes and gets paid. So in steps JJ, and it's like, can you do the same thing you did with Darnold with JJ? And let's be honest, Kevin O'Connell is going to have his fingers all over this pie with JJ.
Yeah.
And they got a lot of great people on that offensive side of things. And one thing that a very good inside person told me was last season, JJ sat in every defensive meeting. He wanted to learn every defense, and what better guy to learn from defensively than Brian Flores? I mean, the guy was a head coach in the NFL. He's known for his blitz packages. He's known for his exotic defenses. That's the guy you learn from. So let's see if JJ can take that and apply it to the actual game now.
I don't know if he has any will to become a head coach again, but you know, the problem with him in Miami wasn't scheme or how he ran the organization. I think it just came down to some personality conflicts and GM stuff in Miami, stuff that wasn't really in his control.
Yeah.
But and you know, those New England guys, they just want to be a little harsh when they take over. The culture that they want isn't necessarily going to work everywhere. The Bill Belichick, Nick Saban-esque kind of culture, but he's their Spagnuolo. I mean, my goodness.
I loved that after they did a little kind of team shell stuff, they did a little blitz pickup drill that was very, very esque of the Oklahoma drill.
Getting the pads popping a little bit.
Oklahoma drill, it was great. Yeah, get them popping a little bit. Aaron Jones, really good in pass pro. He looked good out there. We didn't really see too much from him otherwise. I mean, they first day of pads, so they aren't really going to the ground or doing anything. So run game is just kind of running into the back of the lineman and then running upfield after they blow the whistle. A guy that stood out for me was Lucky Jackson, third-year player out of Western Kentucky. He had a lot of nice plays in one-on-one, caught a few team balls. You said the same thing, and he had the massive over-the-shoulder catch that we got too. So Lucky Jackson, a player at the wide receiver spot that might have a chance to make the team.
Yeah, he was all over the field. So was number 31, Miles Price out of Indiana. Now, we talked about Matthew Golden. We're at number 22 at receiver. Well, he's a first-round pick. I believe this guy was undrafted, and they gave him number 31, so I don't think they're really planning on him making it. But, I mean, on one-on-ones, he was shaking guys. He didn't drop the ball. He was making catches in team. Like, he was just like Sam Brown yesterday for Green Bay. We just kept seeing him everywhere.
Play after play. A guy that they picked up in the offseason that we both wanted to see, because let's be honest, Aaron Jones has a tendency to get hurt. He's getting older in the league, was Jordan Mason from the San Francisco 49ers. Jordan Mason looks massive. I mean, massive.
He's a big boy.
In my mind, he's a major fantasy pickup. If something, God forbid, I'm not saying this, I love Aaron Jones, but if something happens to Jones, he would be the guy to pick up. Just like last year with San Francisco, he wasn't number one, but he ended up being a great fantasy football player.
He's a good handcuff that, anybody gets hurt, Jones gets hurt, he has starter upside as a handcuff, because you just never know with injuries. And there's probably a few weeks during the year where he will take the share of carries, and who knows with how they split it, because Aaron Jones is such a good receiver. He might take the rushing lead, and then third down, they just bring in Aaron Jones so that way they can keep him fresh at all times.
Ran a lot of screens to Mason today, halfback screens.
Yeah, Ty Chandler will get in on that a little bit.
Right.
But, I mean, at the end of the day, those guys are just giving Justin Jefferson plays off.
Thayer Thomas, a.k.a. a poor man's Adam Thielen, number 89. He was making some plays out there.
He didn't look bad either. He kept popping. He had a really good route. McCarthy ran the other way. He shook the hell out of whoever was playing.
He did.
In the nickel.
Keenan McCardell.
He was just wide open in the flat, and they threw it the other way. So
Keenan McCardell, wide receiver coach, great all-time Tampa Bay Buccaneer player.
Mhm.
It was they did a lot of wide receiver stuff in front of us today. It was so fun to see him and how animated he gets at practice.
they definitely have a very good. I mean, it's such a players culture where
yeah.
I mean they are like it. You can just see like the family vibe they have. I mean that it's really cool to see. They're just pretty open and everybody's like pretty chilled. There was a moment during practice where they were doing one-on-ones, and I want to say he might have been going against Naylor, 26, picked the ball off and then he kicked it.
Yeah, just punted it.
I think it was Ty Felton because he like shook him and he had him deep, but he tried to run a comeback. So the dude picked it, gets up, kicks the ball, and like celebrates. And I was just like,
it was kind of weird.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Because that will never be allowed in anywhere you're playing. Like, neat. Don't ever do that again. Nobody ever walked over and talked to him. I was kind of waiting. I was like, I hope that gets brought up in meetings. That shows how old I'm getting, I guess.
There's no secret to this. The Vikings spent a lot of money this offseason with their free agency, picked up 2 former Indianapolis Colts players, Ryan Kelly and Will Fries. Will Fries. Ryan Kelly, center. Fries is the guard.
Yep.
So you bring it over 2 Colts. Then you get back Christian Darrisaw, who's a rather large human being at left tackle.
Yep.
We saw him after practice sign autographs. Dude, he's like Shaq out there.
Yeah, he's a big man. Tore his ACL and MCL last year, so he was out there, just jersey and a hoodie. He's also a big man, so he was also feeling the heat, pretty drenched, which hopefully they get him back.
A big man. Comparing yourself to
sweat-wise. Well, he's an actual big man. I'm, yet again, better help if you're listening. They also got Donovan Jackson out of Ohio State, who your boy Simmons, who's playing for the Chiefs, when he got hurt early, he kicked out to left tackle, so he's got a little versatility there. You can never have enough guys that can play multiple positions, so I think that was a very good pick by them.
Thoughts on newly picked up wide receiver from the Arizona Cardinals, Rondell Moore?
I forgot he was alive. But what a talent. I remember that game against Ohio State that he just single-handedly destroyed them. And then he had like a couple moments in Arizona, but it's like he just really hasn't done much. He's just so small. It's tough to really consistently get the ball to guys like that in the league when they have that frame because they might die.
Yeah.
You know, there aren't too many undersized guys like that. So, I don't know. He's definitely shifty enough. He looked good. I mean, that could be an under the radar. I mean, they already have Naylor, Addison, Hawkinson.
Naylor surprised me a lot today. He had a lot of nice plays.
He did. He had like one drop, but I mean, let's not freak out. It's day one of pads.
Yeah, I agree.
Hawkinson did really look good, though.
He did.
If you're in my fantasy league and you're listening,
leave him.
He looked terrible.
And how about Josh Oliver? Caught a very nice kind of a seam route. Josh Oliver in the house.
Yeah, a little over the shoulder. Yeah, a little stick nod action, if you will.
All right, let's get to our segments. Segment 1, camp vibes and first impressions. What did you see, my friend?
First impression, what an absolutely beautiful setup they have. The vibes were great. The only real negative things I heard, there was a couple fans sitting by us right off the bat, and they go, "Oh yeah, JJ can't warm up by us. He's got to be all the way on that."
It's like, come on.
They're like, yeah, what are they afraid we're gonna watch him? And I was just like, oh boy. And then they left, and then there was these kids sitting there, and he threw a couple, and they just go, oh no. And I looked at you, and I was like, you think they'd be kind of used to this. You know, he'll have a good running game to lean on, and I think the O-line should be better. That was really, when Darrisaw went down, that really did hurt them.
Yeah.
I think they will be better on that. Donovan Jackson, good pick, but that is the biggest question mark. That position can single-handedly turn a franchise on its head, so They bet on the rookie contract, just like, you saw that with Brock Purdy. You saw it with Patrick Mahomes. It's easy to build a team when you have a guy on a rookie contract because you can spend money elsewhere, hence them bringing in Jonathan Allen, hence them bringing in Javon Hargrave, hence them bringing in Ryan Kelly and Will Fries. So they have that flexibility to do that now. And Aaron Jones last year and Jordan Mason this year. So they've spent the money because they can, and they bet on that because they wanted that flexibility. But you just have to wonder after being out here today and seeing the relationship that Sam Darnold had with everybody last year is like, why are you taking that risk? You were in a position where you could have locked up your guys and drafted well. I don't know if they looked at future draft capital and just thought they didn't have enough to really refill positions. I don't know if Justin Jefferson's already coming up on his third contract. I don't know what that's looking like, but you got to wonder. I think Sam Darnold probably would have been the safer move, but I think they like the roster flexibility that they got from keeping JJ. So we'll see. At some point, when he was playing free and easy at Michigan, he had some damn athletic plays. His arm isn't the question. He just needs to remember who he is, and as a Packer fan, I'm fine if he doesn't.
I have to say, I was impressed with McCarthy. I love the way he commanded the huddle from what we could hear from our vantage point. I thought he did extremely well. He botched a snap. Hey, that happens. Cleans up a few of those things, but like I said earlier, if you couldn't tell who was who out there, I thought he still played the best. I believe he's going to have a great year. I think he's a true winner. And when you got a guy like Kevin O'Connell backing you, who can turn he could turn me and you maybe into a okay quarterback, maybe a little bit slightly lower. But you know what? Kevin O'Connell is the quarterback guy. Let's go to segment 2 before you say something.
I would describe that as insanely highly debatable.
Okay, segment 2. Camp heat check. Who was making noise that you noticed today?
Making noise that I saw today. I thought Jonathan Allen really looked good on the inside. Him and Harrison Phillips really, really looked good. Just their front seven was just, that was a win all day. They were flying around. Dallas Turner had a couple really good plays just right off the edge because we were like, where is he? And then the moment we picked him out, that's all we saw was him just break right around the edge. He's a big boy. He moves quick, fluid, Alabama guy. One of the million edge rushers to come out of Alabama. Nick Saban, what a factory he had.
Oh, okay. Segment 3, behind the scenes. What you don't see on TV that you saw today.
What you don't see. I think just the little interactions, that Coach O'Connell was having where he's just screwing around. He's just throwing the ball up. He's just pretty free and easy.
He was being the quarterback for the routes the wide receivers were running in.
Yeah, he was slinging them around a little bit. It was really cool because today's practice was almost Senior Bowl-esque where they were on the far side. They were doing the O-line, D-line, one-on-ones and the blitz pickup. But the one-on-ones were right in front of us. And I mentioned it during practice where I was like, all the other ones we went to, Green Bay, you're right on top and you're on the sidelines. Here where we were north side, end zoned, they went out of their way to put the fan-friendly stuff right in front of that section and the beer tent. Right off the bat, they have the wide receivers go into that little corner and they're doing their little blocking thing to warm up. And it's they really did everything today designed to have the fan involved, and they knew who people wanted to see and how they did it. So it's really cool just to see those little things.
Segment 4, Fan Pulse, Skull Nation. What do you think they were thinking, and what was going on in the stands today?
Well, I think they're thinking that they're probably looking pretty good, but it hinges on one man.
Yeah.
There was a lot of questions about J.J. McCarthy throwing 4 picks the other day. Today, he threw some good balls, but he was just taking sacks and sacks and sacks, and sometimes he was throwing some ducks out there. So I think that's the biggest thing. You heard people are starting to murmur. people are starting
to lose the crowd out there.
Yeah, people are starting to get to a dull roar.
Segment 5, Camp MVP, and final thoughts.
Didn't even have pads on today, but just the way he carries himself in this organization, I would say Justin Jefferson.
It was unreal.
Yeah, I mean that guy. I mean, just
led a skull
lifeblood.
chant right when he came out. Led a skull chant for the fans, and they were like, "Yes, we're doing the skull chant," clapping and everything.
Yeah, that was really, really cool to see, and I can't hate on it. I can't hate on culture. I can't hate on traditions. It's cool to see. That's why we travel. That's why we experience, and you go places, and it's easy to make smart ass comments, but it's better to sit and appreciate and kind of broaden your horizons. I wouldn't have known any of this stuff about Minnesota today if we didn't come here, and gave me a little more perspective on them. I'm still a Packers guy, but it's cool. It's cool to see the history. I appreciate the history of the league, and especially the teams Green Bay has been going up head-to-head against for, God, probably 70-plus years now, whenever they started the Vikings.
My MVP goes to head coach Kevin O'Connell. I mean, from the moment he walked out, he was so relaxed and having fun, playing catch with the ball boy, waving to the fans. But then when team stuff, he just was so dialed in, and the communication he was making with every position coach, with every lineman, with every running back. He was right there inside J.J. McCarthy's pocket, telling him, hey, here's what you're going to see. Here's what I thought it was fantastic. And I know he's a coach, but every team that wants to do something has to have a somewhat decent coach, and he is going. I know McCarthy's a big deal, but even if McCarthy gets hurt and they got to bring in somebody else, he's done it before. He can do it again.
Howell's if
good.
he come in, he'll still sling it.
Yeah,
that was the Jameis Winston comment. He'll still sling the ball. He turned it over a lot when he was in Washington. Like, his arm isn't the problem, and he was also on a bad team where he had to play a lot of hero ball.
Yeah,
like, I think he's still talented. He threw some good balls today, but if Justin Jefferson's healthy and you have him throwing the ball, you play a little bit defense, you could still win some ball games.
All right, let's do the schedule. Okay. Vikings, they kick off Monday Night Football, Minnesota against the Bears.
Win.
Falcons and Vikings. Kirk Cousins, will he be playing? Will he be benched?
I think Michael Penix, so I'm going with the Falcons.
Bengals, Vikings, a big one.
Loss.
Vikings, Steelers. 8:30 a.m. overseas.
I don't like it, but Aaron Rodgers' revenge tour, loss.
The Vikings, they have back-to-back games overseas. This one's at 8:30 a.m. again on October 5th, Vikings and Browns.
Win.
They come back, Eagles, Vikes at noon.
Loss.
Vikings, Chargers, 7:15, a night game.
Win.
Vikings, Lions.
Home or away?
That is in Detroit.
Loss.
Ravens at Vikings.
Loss.
Bears at Vikings at Bears.
Win.
Oh boy. Vikings, Packers.
Loss.
No hesitation. Vikings, Seahawks.
Sam Darnold revenge game. I want to say Seahawks, but we're here. Win.
Commanders and Vikes.
Loss.
Vikings and Cowboys, December 14th, 7:20 p.m.
Jesus. Win.
Vikings, Giants.
Win.
Lions, Vikes.
Probably win. I think it'll be tough to take them out twice.
And to wrap up the season, the Green Bay Packers against the Minnesota Football Vikings.
Well, they would be playing playoff cuck to us, but I think win for the Packers.
All right.
Hopefully we have the playoffs clinched by then.
With this being our last dance of the Deep Dive Tour, let's get some early season picks. People have been asking. I've even been asking you. You haven't given it up. It's time to give it up. We're in the weeds here, literally outside of the Vikings training facility. Your NFC Championship.
That we are.
Your NFC Championship prediction is?
We're in the weeds, and I'm on an ant pile. NFC?
Yeah.
Packers, Eagles.
Who wins?
Packers.
That's 1,000% serious?
Yeah.
Okay. The AFC Championship.
They gave him the best game twice last year that anybody gave him all year.
That's true. AFC Championship?
Bills, Ravens.
Gross. Why?
It's time, buddy.
How about the Bengals?
America was clamoring for that outside of your Swifties. I'm sorry, I've been holding it in.
Oh.
Just give us a break. We get it. We don't need any more. Just take a year off. You know,
the Kelsey farewell tour won't end with a Super Bowl appearance.
Man, I hope it ends in. I'd like to say, is it in Honolulu?
Where?
The Pro Bowl.
No, I think it's in Vegas.
Well, I hope he buys tickets to wherever it is.
Okay, so it's Packers and who'd you say won? Ravens or Bills?
I think Packers Bills.
Packers, Bills. Don't tell me who wins the Super Bowl. Who wins?
Jordan Love.
You're
It's your time. It's our time. And if Josh Allen beats my Green Bay Packers in the Super Bowl, Daddy, that's putting hard times on America.
What's the score?
In the Super Bowl?
Yeah. Green Bay, Buffalo.
31-24.
Beautiful. Beautiful job. My friend, the final stop here in beautiful Minneapolis. Thank you, everybody who's listened to one of these. It's been a lifetime dream, and I know you've had a blast too, Jordan, as well. But give us a ranking of each of the training camps we've been to.
Bears are obviously last.
Dead last.
KC, I would say, is third, just because, it was on a college camp. It was very old school, and maybe that's the intent. Eventually, I don't see why they wouldn't build something like this. And we haven't really looked at all the other teams in the league. We were talking, it looks like the Chargers practice in a damn parking lot right by the freeway. It looked like the Cowboys go to California somewhere. So I don't know how many of them really make theirs accessible like this. This is a master class. I'm still a homer, so this is second. Lambeau being on the sideline was as special of an experience outside of game days I think you can have. Getting to see the bikes and everything's really cool. But this is such a great tribute to their team, their people, their fans. This is really cool to see.
Yeah, and there's a lot of fans here today.
I knock it, but it is cool, like the traditions they have, the horn and like the Viking thing. It's great helmet. It's a historic logo. The traditions are historic. The horn in there is pretty cool. Apparently they have dragons that shoot flames. It's cool. They've really, really invested in this team, and they have a big-ass fan base. So, good for them.
Final thoughts as we close this chapter of the Deep Dive Tour.
It's been a great journey, my friend. I'm glad to have been along for the ride. It's been a long ride. There's been some ups. There's been some downs. Just good old-fashioned fun.
We did it. We actually did it. We actually completed it. 3 training camps in 7 days. There's a lot, but we got through it.
It was a lot. We got rained out once. We had 3 days that were exceptionally steamy.
I feel like Forrest Gump when he's at the end of his jogging part when he runs that and he just goes, "I'm pretty tired now. I think I'll go home." I'm tired.
You same. And I don't know if you believe in God and heaven, but if there is a heaven, those fans that they had over there are right by the gates. Those were incredible.
They were the best. Viking fans were fantastic.
I thought I just left my body for a second. This big guy, I'm walking by and he goes, "It's okay, man. Just hang out for a second."
yeah, you guys were really.
Yeah, we were both big manning it up.
Look at that.
There's big man and then there's big men. I don't know how else you want me to describe Christian Darrisaw.
Look at the Omni Hotel. It just lit up in all purple. That thing is awesome.
Yeah, also that hotel is exceptional. All the woodworking and the Viking themed stuff is really cool.
Would you take the Omni over the one we stayed in Green Bay? What was the Kohler Lounge?
Well, I think
Kohler Lodge.
I think they're both exceptional hotels, and I think this one's obviously bigger. They have more restaurants and stuff, but every room in the Kohler has a specific theme and different pictures and kind of a motif based on a certain Packers game or moment. So I think that for me, being a diehard, will never be beaten. And let's not forget the triple-decker shower heads. That was
all time.
There's probably a drug out there that's because I'm going to be chasing that high for the rest of my life.
The Hunter Biden of showers.
That is exactly what it was, dude.
Well, are we going to run it back next year, pick a different division?
I'm going to start looking for cabana hats right now.
If anybody wants to donate some cabana hats, we could really use it. That or just a tent.
Well, a tent would be nice.
Well, thanks everybody. Greatly appreciate it. It's been a fun time. We're very excited. We're going to talk about divisions and what we might do next year. If you had to pick right now, gun to your head, who would you pick? Which division? Should we go east?
Well, I think probably the easiest one to do, because we missed the Lions this year, there's probably a way you could go Detroit and then down to Pitt, Philly, and what else would be over there? Baltimore. And once you get to the East, they're all kind of like right on top of each other. So there's probably a way you could slam a bunch of them together if we did it like that. It'd be cool to see Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
It'd be cool to see Detroit. I really wanted to do that. Not really excited to see their fans. I mean, they're getting kind of uppity. It's easy to forget where you came from.
It is. Well, my name is Dal Sanson alongside Jordan Neward. Thank you very much for being along on this deep dive tour. It's meant the world. Whether you shared an Instagram post, you liked the podcast on YouTube, you just listened or watched. Thank you very much. That's it, everybody. Good night from Minnesota.
Thanks for the thumbs up, Nate Marquez. Oh, also, I know he took his headset off. Had a lovely phone call with my grandmother today, and she was asking me how the trip was, and I was like, oh, it's going great. And she's like, where are you? We're like, Minneapolis. We're filming our last thing here. And she goes, oh, yeah, I saw that thing on Facebook. And I was like, looks like he's interviewing Jordan. Why would he interview Jordan? Just another classic dagger from Carol. God bless her. She's my favorite person on earth. She keeps me young.
Thanks, everybody.